Nice and easy. We're done with that though.
Jump rope. Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a die-hard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chiggeroo-de-rim, rock tough real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. Alright, let's do one more bronze bar.
If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome on in, and it is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to you all. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to have you. I'm your host, BullMuscle. Got ourselves another great day coming up. Witch casting, welcome on in, return. Yeah, don't really often have too many people actually show up for the intro on time, even though, it's 9 o'clock. I always start the show at 9 o'clock. I'm pretty consistent about that, but yeah, the intro is always there. Anywho, so what do we got today? Today we have finally completed the first wave of Alex Bromley's 70s Powerlifter. We managed to do it in 2.5 weeks as opposed to 3 because I'm condensing a little bit of the workout plan. Since I've got Christmas break off, I'm just trying to do a little bit more for two big reasons. One, because I'm naturally eating a lot of fat and sugar because it's the holidays and I'm getting sent it from family, I'm getting offered it from my roommates, I'm getting offered it at work, and it's just hard. I'm not going to be a Grinch and constantly say no. So for that reason, that's why I'm going with, I'm trying to, if that's the case, I got to try and lift a little bit more than 4 times a week. So that's what we're doing here. Today, though, is first workout, first week, second wave, which means we're going back down to lower volume, the beginning of the volumizing sets. So we're doing 3, this time though, instead of doing sets of 10, it's all going to be sets of 8. And for the bodybuilding stuff, instead of sets of 15, it's going to be sets of 12, which is nice. It's definitely going to be a lot easier. Today will be probably one of the easier workouts I've ever done, which, to be honest, it's Christmas. I kind of feel like I deserve that a little. Damn it. I don't really have enough space to be doing this in here, but whatever. It'll also be a somewhat shorter stream because the weather today, the high is going to be 70 degrees, and I'm going to go love being outside for a large chunk of today. You're trying to diet during the holidays, sticking to it, more power to you, but nah, fuck that. Let it be off. I was in the weeds the last 2 days at work. Yeah, I bet. Definitely nice. The Christmas rush is more or less over now. By the time Christmas Eve rolls around, most people have gotten all their presents, and you know, most stores are starting to actually shut down, which is good. It's important to get a day or two of rest for everyone. So, anyway, we're gonna start with squats. I apologize for the lights not working. This thing has a mind of its own. I don't know why. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. Anyway, we're gonna get started. We got squats today, so. Oh. Ooh, okay. There was a lot of soreness from deadlifts 2 days ago. Oh. Wow, okay. I'm glad we're deloading a bit this week. Well, not deloading in the sense of weight, but deloading in the sense of volume. Now, the book says to do 3 by 8 at 65%, but that's almost too easy with my max being 415. That'd be putting me at about 265, 270, and I feel like doing 3 by 8 at that weight is, I don't want to say it's a waste of my time, but it doesn't feel like it would be particularly challenging. How was Rumi's steak dinner yesterday? That was 2 days ago, but it was really good. Yesterday, shoot, what did we even have for dinner yesterday? I just ended up having a little salad. I made a big thing of Chinese sausages and rice and stir-fried vegetables for lunch, so I didn't need a huge dinner. Oh man. Yeah, I am very sore though. Take this off so that way I've got an idea for how long I'm under the bar. Yeah, so we got 3 sets of squats, 2 sets of wides, and 2 sets of fronts today. That's it. There's only 7 sets. So the way this works is right. It's each wave is 3 weeks. First week is 3, 2, and 2. Second week is 4, 3, and 3. Third week is 5, 4, and 4. So it's right, you know, it's 3. When I say 3, 2, and 2, that's 3 of the primary movement and 2 and 2. So 4 sets of variations. Same thing, 4, 3, and 3, 5, 4, and 4. So you're either doing, you know, for each major movement, that's squat, press, deadlift, and bench press, right? You're either doing 7 sets, 10 sets, or 13 sets. Now 13 sets is a lot. I mean, I was definitely struggling a bit yesterday. So I think we're at the point where I don't want to call myself overtrained at the moment, but I could probably use a rest day. Thankfully tomorrow I'm getting one. The bolts are dead. Yeah, freaking. Oh, the Chargers are. You can take the Chargers out of San Diego, but you can't take the San Diego out of the Chargers. All right, I'm gonna do another set of warm-ups. I'm still pretty cold. Just need to do a little bit more. Oh. Oh. It's not too bad. Good warming up. Yeah, it's only 125. Not gonna feel like too much. Alright, I'll probably do a couple more warm-up reps at 215 before jumping up. So, yeah, the book says 3 by 8 at starting a hockey equipment as your QB. Old Easton Stick. That's I mean, feel bad for a guy like that. You know he got he got bullied as a kid with a name like that. So I'm gonna just do 1 or 2 more sets, warm up. Sure, it'll come off then. Need a little water. So, we'll do a few more sets on this, or a few more reps on this just to warm up. Anyway, so again, it's saying I should be doing it at 65%. Now, I tested my 1 rep max at 415. The more I've been thinking about it, though, why am I doing percentages of the 1 rep max I currently have? I should be doing percentages of the 1 rep max I want to have, so that by the time I get to triples, doubles, singles, I'm already working at my current max weight, so that way when I do max, I can max higher than my current weight. So for that reason, I'm going to kind of adjust my percentages to, instead of what I currently am at, I'm going to adjust them to sort of where I want to be. So for squat, I'm going to try and make that closer to 450. For deadlift, I'm going to probably push that a little bit closer to 500. For bench, I'm going to probably push it a little bit closer to 350. So, yeah. Hockey, International Juniors get underway in 2 days. Yes, they do. All right. We're going to get a couple more warm-ups done. We're going to dive in. Alright, it didn't feel bad. Didn't feel great either though. There's definitely a lot of soreness in my legs, hips, posterior chain. I want to do this at 295. I'm wondering how good an idea that is. Shouldn't have any issues with it. Here we give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. If it's too much, I go down weight. I'm overthinking this. I'm overthinking this. I think I may start it with the 10-pound plates under my heels. Give yourself a little bit of a heel lift. That'll be probably pretty worth doing. All right. Make sure I got this right. 35, 125, 215, 265, 295. Yep. This should be interesting. I am gonna take my shirt off though. I'm warm. I'm not fully warm, but I'll be warm enough to wear. I prefer it off. All right, so we're gonna do this We're gonna do calves, re-rolls, lunges, front squats, yada yada yada. Y'all heard my spiel already. I don't care. Not really. Should do. It's a little too far forward. Let's do this back just an inch. That'll do. Yeah, I can tell like I'm just sore, like I'm stiff. It's like normally I can reach my hands a little bit further back, like down my upper back, and right now there's no, I don't know, I still feel like really stiff. I'm trying to just kind of move things around a little bit. Yeah. Oh, definitely not. No, I don't feel quite ready. Time waits for no man, though. I need to send it. See, I went to bed around not too far after 10 last night. I feel like I actually got a fair amount of sleep. Just don't feel like it was high quality, but it never feels like it is. I don't know, I never feel like I wake up rested, you know? I don't know if any of y'all are like that. Okay. I'm not screwing around. We get psyched up and we're gonna send this. Good thing is, again, I only got 3 sets of this, so, and it's 8 reps, so it shouldn't be too bad. Like doing eights is not as hard as doing 10s. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you hear that or not. That was the crunchiness of my spine. Let's go. Not bad, not bad. How'd that look? Was that deep? Chat, what you think? It's 20. Not bad. It was deep. Duca, first off, thanks for the first time chat. Second thing, appreciate you telling me. Same to you, Big Red. It's important. I want to be hitting a beast parallel. It's much better to go an inch below parallel than an inch above. So that's good, that's good. It felt pretty solid. Went up with no real issues. Really think I'm gonna stick to that for the next couple sets. Again, we only got we're lower volume today. We're only doing 3x8, so shouldn't be too hard to replicate that for 2 more sets of 8. It's not bad. Welcome to the channel, by the way, Mr. Duca. So yeah, we got 2 more sets of that. Honestly, I feel, you know, if we were going the super squats route, if I had to, I feel like I could do a set of 16 with that. I think it was a smart call to hit these weights with percentages of where I want to be, not percentages of where I am. That doesn't feel bad. Now, what this means is we're taking this idea. It means we'll be at, just doing the math here, 315 for the 4x10s a week from today, or 6 days from today, excuse me. We'll be at 335, or not, sorry, not 4x10s, 4x8s. We'll be at 315 for 4x8, which again, I should, especially because I'll have a rest day between now and then, I should have no issues with that. And then 335 at 5x8, that will be difficult. Doable, I think doable, but difficult. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try one flat-footed. I think it's important to still do them flat-footed I don't personally see any problem with having, you know, about, up to an inch of lift on your heels when you're squatting. It allows you to get a little bit better quad drive. And for taller guys, can help compensate for ankle mobility that just might not be there. I've seen guys that, they can squat, bring their knees way out above or way out in front of their ankles. I just am not physically capable of doing that, even with zero weight, right? If I try to get my knees in front of my toes, like I feel like if that happens, I fall over forward. And that's obviously not the sensation you want on a squat, because if you're doing that, it's very, very likely your back will round. And if your back rounds, that's a very, very short road to injury. That's the express lane to injury right there. So we don't want that. All right, I'm gonna psych myself up. We'll do our second set. I feel like my form has gotten a lot better as well over the past few weeks. I feel like my depth is good. I don't feel like I'm rounding my back at all. I feel like I've found a better fixed point with which to place my gaze. Just all in all, I'm a lot happier with the way my squats and deadlifts have been going. Been a lot less happy with my press and bench press. So lower body has been doing well, upper body not so much. That would be the tale of 2023, if I'm honest. All right. Let's see old Blue Oyster Cult going. A little ME262. Speaking of, a great jet fighter right there. Fucking ads for TikTok. Keep trying to repair your horrendous image, TikTok. It ain't gonna fucking work. All right, off of my favorite so far. I'm still listening through their entire discography. I'm on Mirrors right now, but so far, favorite Blue Oyster Cult album. It's Secret Treaties. It's called ME262. It's a fantastic song. So we hit this for another set of 8. We'll do a second set of Raider pulls, and then another set of calves. And then after that, I'll do a third set of 8. Probably do pullovers instead, and then calves. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Get zoned in. Get another set. Get pissed off. Come on, strong like a bull. Let's get this. Here we go. good. Some heavy metal. How'd the depth look there? Look good? Hey, thanks for the streak. There, Dodge, appreciate it. Then I might die. Junkers show my 104. Muscles Englishmen live, then I might die. Junkers show my 104. Alright. I got another of those. It's pretty easy. Men who shave their buttocks? Hey, look, man. If you ever had to deal with swamp ass, I get it. That's totally up to the individual. Alright, some more baloney in a little while. Car's full of charge. If you're going all the way up to get more baloney, don't bother. Dodge, if we were gonna go walk Fats or, somewhere up in North Augusta anyway, why go now? Get your comic done now, you can get that later. Friend Dan was letting me use his girlfriend to shave inside his anus. I don't know that her girlfriend's that nice. They're usually the girls that like the butt stuff because they understand why one would want that. I won't stop you from going, Dodge. It's just you're right. But if we're going, I thought you and I wanted to. I'm definitely going for a big walk later. Fat sounded the best to me, but if I'm going up to Fats and back, like I'm gonna be rolling right through, the part. I'm gonna be rolling right through Martintown where the Publix is anyway. This is up to you, but I don't see a reason why you'd go and do that now, only to turn around and then. It just seems like you got better uses for your time than that. We'll do a little Tyranny and Mutation. That's a good album. Ooh, yes, a little Hot Rails to Hell. Didn't know South Carolina was walkable. It isn't. So when I say FATS, FATS is the Forks Area Trail System. It's in Aiken and McCormick counties. Now, it's a little bit of a drive, but it's really pretty. So the morning's when it'll be the least batshit, so I may as well just get out of the way. You're only going in for one thing. I think you'll be all right. Hell, I'm frankly rather surprised any of the grocery stores in NA are going to be open. Again, I'm not going to stop you, but it just seems like a waste of your time, especially if we're going to be rolling by there later. Sure, I know there's stuff. I'm getting something else too. I forgot something for the turkey this week. Still, we'll be rolling by all those grocery stores later. It's your call, but I don't see a reason to do that. I hate town trails. Why is walking and cycling always recreational? Why not try to implement a cycling network? Well, so the FATS trail isn't even in the city. Ooh, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and Big Game Mikey, can you send that to me on Discord? No, so the FATS trail it's the Forks Area Trail System. So there's a bunch of small forks and creeks that enter the Savannah River just around the Clarks Hill or Strom-Thurmond Lake area, and there's lots of hiking and walking trails around there. It's a huge mountain biking area too. A lot of mountain bikers love it. So the thing is with that, right, is there, that's a little bit of a drive. You're out in the countryside as you're heading upriver of Augusta. That was in the city. Yeah, no, I get you. All right, you do whatever you want, that dodge. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at these squats. Was this is the second set or the first set? Let's see what we got here. I'm giving myself a little bit of extra time. One, two. Yeah, it looks like the depth is right about at parallel. 3, 4. These all look like they're hidden parallel. 5. 6. Yeah, 7. No, that last one was deep. Yeah, no, my depth looks good. Is there a way to get that place of activity without a private vehicle? Seems good for tourists, but they should connect private public transit to it. Not really. It's not, this is a small town in the deep south. The government doesn't have resources for stuff like that. Hell, North Augusta doesn't really even have a public transit system at all. I don't think there's really much in the way of buses anywhere there. Now, in North Augusta, you do have the North Augusta Greenway, and that's not bad. That you can use to get from all the way north of the interstate to downtown, which is pretty good. And then you've got the Palmetto Trail that runs alongside I-520 to get you up towards the Belvedere side. The problem is they're disjointed. There's no easy connection between them. And then there's no connection. There's not really a good connection unless you want to drive over the 13th Street Bridge to the Georgia side. Now, there is a sidewalk there, but you're not supposed to be cycling on the sidewalks. Technically, that's against the rules. But, when the car traffic is 40 miles an hour and there's no dedicated bike lane, it'd be suicidal to drive, to cycle on the road. That's just asking to get run over, by drivers who don't fucking know better. Or, in some cases, actively don't wish to know better. So, anyway, let's go. Got one more set on this. Only 8. This is only 8 reps. This should be easy. We have no issue with this. But yeah. Now, if you live in downtown Augusta or downtown North Augusta, you can access some walking trails. It's not ideal, but you can do it. But for large chunks of this, what's called the CSRI, the Central Savannah River area, no, it's 100% car dependent. That's unfortunate. Is Augusta able to apply for federal aid to build public transit? Mayor shouldn't be ashamed for asking for help. So, city of Augusta is pretty fucking poor, but even then, the problem is Augusta's getting hollowed out. Much of the new economic growth in the area is around the I-520 ring road, really, and the reason for that is, well, it's multifold. So downtown Augusta doesn't really have much in the way of employers, except for the Masters, which is kind of a once-a-year deal, and the hospital. Whereas the other major employers, Plant Vogel is, 30 miles outside of the city. It's actually closer to Waynesboro. And then, Fort, what used to be Gordon, what is now Eisenhower, is right on the ring road. So all the military personnel, contractors, suppliers, they're going to want to gravitate to be closer to the fort instead of closer to downtown. So that's what's going on there. All right, let's hit this. Third set. Strong like bull, baby. Yuck. That wasn't too bad. Not bad. Come on. Nice. Get pullovers. Oh, ooh, ow. God, ow. Oh. Oh my God. The economic growth on the highway, well, we can't, it's not sustainable. What can you say? Well, okay, so, yeah, so, right, Fort Eisenhower has been there for a lot longer. They built the ring road around it, not the other way around. So, you know, it's kind of a pre-existing constraint. All right, that felt pretty good. Yeah, wide squats, front squats, Bulgarians, and lunges. And then we're done. We can go down weight now. I think I'm only going 235 for this. That seems about right to me. All right, so now we got wide squats. A wide squat can be simple variation, roll it at 235. This is what we have here. We just need to clip. You have 2 sets of this, 2 sets of fronts, Bulgarians, lunges, and then we're done. Wide squat, no real difference from the front squat in terms of knee bend technique. Simply canting our ankles out and widening our stance to the maximum extent possible. Hope you guys are listening to Charles Marone. I love Chuck Marone. Hell yeah, couldn't agree more. Yeah, the suburbs are subsidized by the government. It's really rather funny. It's usually the upper middle class is subsidized by the poor. In this regard, oftentimes. All right. So thankfully we only got 2 sets of this and 2 sets of fronts, so this shouldn't be too hard. And we're only doing sets of 8, so it should be even easier. So this should go down and up 8 times pretty quickly. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. You've been to Hoboken. It's the safest town in New Jersey thanks to a street design called daylighting. Well, it's also because the cars go slower there. You really heading out?
Just trust my madness in this method.
It's certainly madness. You do you, fam.
Do you need anything?
No, I've not needed anything all Christmas break long. I've got more than I need at home already. I appreciate it.
Okay. And speaking of anything, then drop me a line.
Here's what I'm gonna pull out. Insert dirty joke here. Kind of interrupted the flow of things there. I'm not trying to be mean to Dodger here, but I really don't fucking understand that. That seems like a tremendous waste of her own time, given that she's got plenty of shit to do here, but just hope she stops bringing home really, really fatty stuff. It's been nice. I mean, she brought home cookies and all sorts of stuff, but like, my weight is rising too fast as it is. I need to hit the brakes. All right, let's go. Wide squats. Oh, the other difference. This is a high bar versus low bar. There we go. Bring you guys in a bit. Come on. Not bad. Only one more set of those. Yeah, this is easy. It should be though. This is effectively acting as a deload due to lower volume. It's interesting though, is my fingertips kind of go numb on these heavier weights. I can't live with roommates more times than I'll encourage bad habits. Let's bake the best desserts. I gained so much weight I had to move out and start changing my life. Well, there's more than a grain of truth to that. But Dodge means well, and well, I've definitely helped her improve her diet and exercise regimen. And yeah, to a certain degree, I wouldn't say she's helped mine, but there have been times where I've had major fuck-ups and she's been there to help me, so I'm very grateful for her. It does make it harder to avoid the junk food when it's in your house, but it's hard to move out alone. Is living alone easier in South Carolina than New York City? Oh, hell yeah. Well, okay. In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. Financially, absolutely, because the cost of living is so much lower here than it is in New York City, even with a car. Whereas socially, it's the tough one. I'm somewhat isolated socially here. I have friends, but a lot of them, I have my neighbors I go hang out with. I have coworkers, but it's not like you can just go down to the bar and socialize with people, right? I can't. The bar scene's completely it's unavailable to me, really, because the maximum I could ever have at the bar is 1, maybe 2 drinks, because I have to drive home. So, that as a social avenue is more or less shut off, and because people are fucking lazy here, there's not much in the way of sports. But on the other hand, I was talking about how low my housing costs are. Well, having roommates is a big part of that. This is going up pretty easily. Right, this is supposed to be RP 6 to 7, which it is, honestly. That's saying, could I do 4 more reps of that? Oh yeah. 12 reps on 235, I could do that for sure. But Neon, this is, realistically, I'm probably not going to stay in South Carolina a ton longer. I keep offering people, Discord sessions. I put an announcement in my Discord to kind of explain what's going on, but nobody's asking the questions, and so I don't normally talk about it. If people actually have an interest in what my future's looking like, they'll ask. So that's sort of how I've treated it. All right. I'm gonna hit a set of wide squat here. Then I'm gonna do another set of pullovers. We'll move to fronts. And then we got Bulgarians and lunges. That's easy. South Carolina sounds like Arizona. A little bit. To go being a bar in the motor, I completely assess what I think, but a car should be illegal if a drunk driving accident happens. The government deserves just as much blame. I think you should be free to start that business if you want. Look, people make the decisions. This bothers me. Don't blame drunk drivers on anybody other than the people doing the drunk driving. It's their choice to drink irresponsibly. Have 1, have 2, and if you're not feeling ready to drive, wait an hour. And if you don't do it, well, that's on you. You're the one doing the irresponsible act there. Or do what most of the locals around here do and just make your own moonshine. Can't drunk drive if you don't need to drive in the first place. Let's do this. Finish strong. There we go. It was a bit loose. There we go, that's better. It's always their fault. The government deserves as much. Why allow a bar to be allowed to open an establishment in a remote area? Because that's what freedom's all about. You should have the freedom. In this country is built around the idea of even if you want to do something stupid, you have the freedom to do it. Actions have consequences, but you should be allowed to take those actions. I don't want the nanny state telling me what I can and can't do. All right. Let's do this. Here we go. Come on, 4 more. We open our walkable transit-rich areas in the individual. Easy policy and safe home lives. No, I strongly disagree. Because who gets to define what walkable is? Who gets to define what transit-rich is? No. You're screwing over poor bar owners with that in places that aren't necessarily walkable through no fault of their own. The government doesn't have that opportunity. The government does not have the right to tell people where and where not to open a bar. You dedicated stock streams, you didn't mix it in. Oreos, not milk, welcome. Thanks for the first time chat. Usually I kind of talk about stocks, finances, and those matters at the end of my lifting streams. Really kind of depends on what the chat wants. Why, is there anything stock or finance related you were wondering about, you wanted me to talk about? I got my whiteboard, kind of diagrams of stuff. Typically I do that on Fridays because that's the one time where I'm both streaming and the stock market is open. But I'm very happy to talk about it today. so what did we do last time for front squats? We did 190 pounds for 10s. So I should have no issues with 195, maybe more. So you're gonna start with 195 and see how it feels. Oh, gotta feel my legs. All right, so that's 175, 195. Let's see how that feels. Front squats shouldn't be too bad, especially since I'm only doing 8 instead of 10. But I don't need to break anything today. Yeah, I don't know what it. Hey, Oreos and milk, thank you very much. Interesting. Just curious about stream schedule layout. Okay, so now over the Christmas break and New Year's break, it's a little bit different just because I have extra days where I can stream, so I am. I won't be live tomorrow, but I'll be live pretty much every day besides that. Thank you very much for the follow, though. Welcome to the bullpen. As far as layout, normally the way it works is so I have lifting days and rest days. On the lifting days, I do my workout. Then we usually have Q&A after, for as long as really the chat wants it. Off days, I usually have my Q&A, lifting, advice, finances before, and then we play games. So that's normally how it goes. But if there's anything you want to talk about, Oreos, usually the chat's dead enough to where I don't have any restrictions on it, so don't worry. So Nia, I'm saying, fight like hell for a better place to live, easy to bar someone wants to have more economic growth in the mixed use community. Now, if there's something I would like the government to do regarding mixed use and everything, I want the government to do what they're least likely to fuck up. And for me, that's bike paths. It's a lot cheaper to build bike paths everywhere than it is to build a brand new rail transit line. Bike paths require less maintenance. They don't have any engines. It's just build small, 6 to 8 foot wide paths somewhere. Bike paths are an absolute no-brainer. We see you do everything I'm interested in, know nothing about the gym, but love to learn about it, love to talk stocks and financial freedom. Hell yeah, so are you part of the FIRE train then? Yeah, the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. Am I in the military? No, although the military may be a future employer. I can talk about that if y'all are interested, but, well, I haven't really had questions on it, so I don't normally talk about it. Okay, so we got 195 here. For front squats, it shouldn't be too hard. Only need to do 2 sets as well, so it's very easy so far today. But that's to be expected. This is the first week of the wave. It's supposed to be a little bit easier. The hard workouts I completed yesterday. And let's see what kind of music we want next. We'll go for a little Quiet Riot. No, I like bike paths because again, the government is much less likely to fuck up a bike path than it is a train route. And I'm for, trains and buses, but bike paths are far and away the most cost-efficient option. With an engineering background, that's correct. So I wouldn't, okay, I guess I can talk about this. Right now I'm a nuclear engineer. Got a mechanical engineering degree, but I've been working in the nuclear industry the last 3 years. I will be in the, I got a mechanical engineering degree 6 years ago. I joined the nuclear industry 3 years ago. Previously, I was working for a defense contractor. And there is a chance in 2024 that I pick up a civilian contractor job as a nuclear engineer for the U.S. Navy. For those of you who don't know, the Navy has, for both tactical reasons and environmental reasons, embraced the use of nuclear reactors for their submarine and aircraft carrier fleet. Those reactors need maintenance, and the U.S. Navy found it prudent to use civilian contractors to fill in that role. And they're interested in having me do that. There are 2 potential locations, and I can go into further depth if y'all are interested in hearing about that. As far as cycling infrastructure is concerned, so, okay, right, but that's still so much better than having nothing. It's 1 block literally, and then it drops you off in moving vehicles or parked cars next to the curb. I'm telling you, dude, even just a painted bicycle gutter is far better than what most American cities have. The bar is so low. Sounds pretty exciting. I would certainly say it is. I'm looking forward to what happens in 2024. It should be a very, very interesting year. All right, let's get another set done. Come on. Mama says that I never mind. Got no brains. I'm insane. The teacher says that I'm one big brain. 6-string razor, I got a mouth like an alligator. I want it louder, more power. I'm gonna rock it till it strikes the hour. Bang your head. That's not bad. All right. How's it better if no one will use it? Dude, if I had access to even just painted bicycle gutters, it'd be enough for me to use it. Sedkey VIP, thank you very much. Welcome on in. It's not hard to find cities that do it correctly and mirror their approach, Liam, though. Take a look at Minneapolis. Minneapolis has one of the highest cycling rates in the United States. Granted, that's not saying much, but Minneapolis has miserable weather most of the year, and yet people bike in the depths of winter. Why? Because they actually invested in a big enough network. Really easy. Cycling networks are a bit like, right, it's a bit like getting something to a critical state, right, instead of subcritical or supercritical. Once it goes critical, it's self-sustaining. So, Sedkey, does the front squat have any advantage over the normal one? Yes. Now, I don't recommend replacing all of your regular squats with front squats. That's not a good idea. However, front squats kind of work in a similar manner to sissy squats, where with front squats, all right, let me back up a little bit. So, I'll get a bar to demonstrate this. All right, so with back squats, let's just say you're doing a basic high bar back squat. You can tell that the bar is, when you come down, still slightly further forward of your center of gravity. Now if you move to a low bar, it's pretty much on your center of gravity. This is why most often the guys you see putting up the massive weights are doing low bar squat, especially if they're taller than 6 feet. The shorter you are, the less it matters. But if you're over 6 feet tall, you should consider doing low bar squat. If you're having issues with depth, I really recommend it. I also think it's easier on your knees. Now, where does a front squat come in? A front squat takes this exact same idea, but moves it in the opposite direction. What if, instead of having the bar be a little bit further forward of your center of gravity, you put it up here, and now it's substantially further forward. What it forces you to do is make your spine more vertical and really work on that quad drive. Now, if you don't have very good ankle mobility, you can use a little bit of an insert or squat shoes to allow your knees to drive further forward, to pick up your heels a little bit. But basically, the idea behind a front squat is challenges your balance. It puts you at a mechanical disadvantage as opposed to a low bar or high bar back squat, and it really focuses on your quad drive. Shows the government more of the Highway Administration was made a whole spectrum was just copy paste. Gross design manual for bicycle traffic into the Highway Administration manual. I mean, okay, we're going to talk about highway spending. The Interstate Highways Act of 1956 and its consequences were a disaster for American society. The Interstate Highways Act was a terrible, terrible piece of legislation that has permanently damaged America. Used to live in Minneapolis, they prioritize plowing the bike lanes and greenways. Live in Seattle now where there's also decent cycling infrastructure that's improving slowly. 2-on-1, good to see you. Funny enough, we were talking about the Navy. One of the locations they were interested in bringing me on to be a worker would be at the Bremerton Shipyard, which is just across the sound from Seattle. So I could see myself in the Pacific Northwest next year. That's one of the two locations. There is a distinct possibility that that occurs. All right, we got one more set of front squats, and then we're moving on to the bodybuilding work. Of course, Sedke, stick around if you've got further questions. I'm happy to answer them. It would be nice to be over on the peninsula. Kitsap's lovely. Really, any of those counties west of Seattle, I just love them all. Jefferson, Clallam, Grays Harbor County is probably one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. It's so pretty there. Mason County, Thurston, even the part of Pierce County, the Gig Harbor area, it's nice. Of course, you gotta to be living in Gig Harbor, you gotta have fucking money for that. Gig Harbor's expensive, but very pretty, very, very pretty. That's a really lovely town to go walking around. I just love walking around the harbor. You get to see all like the old fishing boats and the yachts. It's pretty. It's nice. Given the choice between Tacoma and Seattle, like the bigger cities in Washington, I would pick Tacoma 10 times out of 10. Seattle is a little weird. It's a little bit scary for me. I'm not quite sure I'd be willing to live there. It's extremely expensive. Crime has become a bigger issue, and some of the politics there are a bit extreme for my tastes. Anyway, we got one more set here. And we got, do I want to do Bulgarians first, or do I want to do lunges? I like ending with lunges. I'm going to do Bulgarians. Not from the States, but Florida's a good area, especially Tampa Bay area. I'm not a fan of Florida. A lot of people like it. I'm less a fan of Florida. I feel as though if you want warm weather and lower costs of living and lower taxes, there are better states to do it than Florida. And if you have to live in Florida, I recommend the Panhandle. What's called the Floribama or the Redneck Riviera. Talking Pensacola, really anything west of Tallahassee. Slop Tech, welcome on in. You're dead? Oh, you're chatting, so you can't be that dead. All right, I got one more set on this. Come on, front squats. This is, that drawn? Yeah. All right, this is 200. Let's see how it goes. Come on, strong like bull. see. That was pretty easy. Bang your head. We're all meant to meet. On your head. So bang your head. Damn. Man. Bang your head. Perfect. Yeah, that'll work. New York City is the reason I no longer use the subway for walking or cycling. Wish New York City had trams or light rail. So the trouble in New York City is the cost. It's expensive. Really no way around it. Alright. So now we're moving on to the bodybuilding stuff. So that's going to be 3 sets of 12 on Bulgarians. I'm going to do those with dumbbells. And then 3 sets of, hang on a second. Sorry, y'all. Stand by. Oh, God, I need that. This. So we're gonna do Bulgarians with dumbbells, I think, and then we go from there. Question is, what to do them at? Notebook would tell us to do squats. Where's my squats at 410? So do them with 40s for 15s. So we'll start there. So we do 40-pound dumbbells. There's one. Here's the other. America sucks at light rail. Not sure you're going to find more usable transit in the U.S. than New York City by a long shot. Again, I'm just a huge fan of bike paths because you don't need to hire any operators for a bike path. You just have to keep it clean. It's very, very simple. A bike path is far more efficient and far lower risk than a dedicated rail system. I live in Seattle. The light rail is nice, but years behind. So Seattle screwed itself over. In the late 70s, Seattle had an opportunity to get federally funded heavy rail. They turned it down. Same with the city of Austin. They both turned it down. As a result, the only 2 cities who got it were Atlanta, who got MARTA, and DC, who got the Metro. Now, the Metro has its issues, but if you live in DC, I think most people would recognize just how much worse the Capital Beltway would be without the Metro taking a lot of the stress off of it. Just from a sheer volume of cars, would be complete gridlock. Friend Yosef is also Jewish like me. Tucked in the subway by some young Western pro-Palestinian cringe lords who's using insurance. Lord. Okay, yeah, if New York City can't leave Jews alone, that's a problem because, I hate to indulge in a stereotype here, but New York City is kind of a big place for a lot of Jews. There are a lot of Jews that live in New York City. Why do they say that's where you can get the best bagels in the world, right? There's a reason for that. If you guys are interested on my thoughts on Israel-Palestine, I can talk about it, but I think a lot of young people have TikTok brain, and TikTok brain is making them think some really stupid things about that war and that conflict. They're working on it, but yeah, lots of shooting themselves on the foot along the way. 2-on-1. What amazes me is that the date to get light rail connected fully from Seattle to Tacoma continues to slip year after year after year. You would think that's such a no-brainer. I mean, thankfully it gets to SeaTac, but how on earth you sit there and tell me, right, like Tacoma is such a massive city as well, why would you not want a simple and convenient rail system to connect all the way from Seattle to Tacoma? Because you've got, it's not like it's low density. That entire corridor, you've got Fife, you've got Kent, you've got SeaTac, you've got Tukwila, you've got everything, Renton, I think, all the way between Seattle and Tacoma. Why would you not want to link up all of those neighborhoods? It's insanity that it's taking that long. But in the so-called most progressive city, progressivism's gone off the rails over the last 10 years. Okay, I'll mention, politically speaking, I don't get into it all the time. I do have some idiosyncrasies, but I'm mostly a centrist. Which is, I know, that's a very boring thing to say, but it is what it is. All right, let's get another set now done here. I think, unfortunately, progressivism has turned into this, there are oppressors and there are the oppressed, and any action the oppressed do, as defined by the progressives, is seen as justifiable, whereas there is the quote-unquote oppressor can never do anything right. It's just, it's a really black and white way of seeing the world that's stupid. Merry Christmas, Hodel. Good to see you. Welcome on in. This is counting as my Christmas stream. I've decided to take Christmas Day off. I need a day off, people. I haven't had a day off from the gym in 7 days now. I've done a 2-a-day in there, and my body's starting to break down. I need to give it some more rest. Let's do this. Here we go. Oh. Ooh. There we go. That's 12. Switch. Wait, DC people are never supposed to live there. I love DC. Hard disagree. Refuse to pay taxes to the IRS comes after me, take them to the SCOTUS, argue no taxation without representation. Now, this is a fun topic. Well, DC statehood. So, in regards to DC statehood, I have mixed feelings on the matter. But I love the city of DC itself. What I can't stand are the suburbs around it. Suburbs around it offer none of the positives and all the downsides. Hey, we got 100 bits from Marking Me One. Thank you very much. Welcome on in. I appreciate the bits. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you. What about DC or the Smithsonian's? Thank you. Someone else gets it. Yes. That's what I love most about DC. It's if I lived in DC, I would never, ever run out of things to do. I'm enough of a nerd to where, even the Smithsonian's on art. It's not my scene. I would much rather spend my time in the science-related ones, because I'm an engineer. But I could go in there and just appreciate just the sheer talent of what I'm looking at. It's free. I strongly recommend the Smithsonian's. They are really, just pick whichever one is interesting to you. If you go to DC, just spend an entire day just touring them all. It's fantastic. Like politics on TikTok. Okay, so TikTok is, you gotta remember, why does TikTok exist? TikTok is a social engineering platform created by the Chinese Communist Party. Stay off of it. TikTok brain is a bad thing. Don't get TikTok brain. Thanks for the link to your Discord. I appreciate it, Marajes. Yeah, so some people have asked me about this. Every time you follow, whenever I get new followers, I always send them little thank you messages on Whispers, and I send them my Discord link because I think it's the polite thing to do. That's how I was raised. DC's cool in terms of doing stuff, in terms of living, I hate it. Refuse to pay taxes out of representation. We don't like the Brits did it in Boston. We shouldn't accept it now. I agree with that. I think personally, there's not really a good argument against DC statehood if you ask me. The trouble really is just, what do you do with the existing federal buildings? I mean, do you just leave that under the jurisdiction of DC itself as a different state? Like, do you want to, I'd be okay with reintegrating DC into Maryland, but that's another conversation that is politically thorny. But yeah, there's got to be a better solution than the status quo. If I'll hear so you get good bull brain, I appreciate that, Hodel. Yeah, the natural history Smithsonian is my favorite. I think my favorite one might be the one with science and technology, like all sorts of really cool stuff in there. I mean, these TikTok to look at cute dancing shirtless boys, PC setup videos. Yeah. Bothers me too is TikTok brain is affecting the dating market now, where you get, and I'm not saying it's just women, but women seem to be doing this a lot more than men. Women will go on there and just roast the shit out of their partner for doing something innocuous and get a bunch of replies of, oh, you should break up or divorce with him, based on like this fucking 15-second clip as a view into the relationship. I'm like, what the fuck? That is so toxic. Why would you want to expose yourself to that? And why would you throw your partner under the bus for internet clout? Why the fuck would you do that? No, look, I refused to get on Facebook in 2008. I refused to get on Twitter in 2012. And I'm going to refuse to get on TikTok in 2023. It's just not happening. Better believe I'm not on Instagram either. But all I got is Twitch and Discord. I do have a Reddit account, but I hardly ever use it because Reddit fucking sucks. I mostly use it to, every so often I'll make a comic based on college football, and even that I'm not doing much anymore. All right, here we go. 12. Did I do a third set of pullovers? I think I did. The U.S. Capitol, and then I sold the city down the river. Good. New York City does not need to be any more self-important than it already is. New York City is already arrogant enough. Y'all don't need that. You got the congressional votes you need. Yeah, it was a compromise. Do you have time off for the holidays? I do. I'm not working tomorrow because today's Sunday, so tomorrow will be Monday. I'm not working tomorrow. We also get Christmas Eve off, but since that came on a Sunday this year, I have the 26th off as well. I have to work on the 27th. I have to work on the 28th. I'm taking the 29th off. And then New Year's weekend is on, New Year's weekend's on the following week. How am I spending the holidays? I'm just mostly eating, sleeping, and lifting weights. I'm using all the caloric surpluses I'm naturally going to be running due to, being offered a lot of really rich food, trying to use it as productively as I can and just spend it in the gym. And lots of hikes, because the weather today is going to be a high of 70 degrees here. It is December 24th. Just going to be smug. For anybody who lives in the Midwest, just have to do it. Have to do it. All right. We got one more set on Bulgarians, and then we move to lunges, and that's it for today. I completely mad at Hampton. I really didn't know the U.S. Capitol because New York had the vaccine in the same spot. Alexander kind of got more than what he gave. What he wanted, he got. Yeah. I mean, I personally am glad the Capitol's in Washington as opposed to in New York City. That would already make sort of the imbalance between New York City and the rest of the state even worse. No, I think the U.S. Capitol being in New York City helps nobody. It also is a strategic, I would say it's strategically inferior because you could knock out both the government and the financial capital in one blow if you were an invading country, say like certain somebody in 1812, right? As opposed to having to send two separate garrisons to try and commandeer New York City and commandeer D.C. Not to mention, in those days, the British were our biggest enemy. New York is simply a quick, hop and a skip down the Hudson from Canada. So, if you're looking at it from a defense perspective in 1787, the Canadians are a little too close to New York. You put it further south, one, it's a compromise. It made more sense to not put the capital in New York. God. Plus, again, New Yorkers are arrogant enough. They don't need to also be the capital. If anything, capital should be somewhere in Kansas now. Put it in the geographic center of the country so it's completely inaccessible to any foreigners. There we go, there's the solution. Reintegrate DC into Maryland and then move the capital to somewhere in Kansas. It seems like the obvious solution to me. I guess if you really wanted to go geographic factors, you'd have to integrate Alaska and Hawaii into it, which would probably pull it closer to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Move to Manhattan, Kansas, and that's an ode to New York City missing out on it. Ha! That's funny. All right. Very dense, being the capital causes so much traffic chaos. Just look at every Trump visit when he visited his tower in the city. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, putting the capital of the federal government in New York City is a profoundly bad idea. It's a good thing it was not in New York City. I should move it to somewhere out in like fucking Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming. Put it in a flyover state. All right. Last setting on Bulgarian, last set on Bulgarians, we got lunges. Oh, fuck! Losing my balance. Come on! Alright, move the lunges. Remember, the nation started on the note. Yeah, I know. I'm taking the piss. I'm fully aware that Kansas did not exist until the 1860s. Well, as a state, anyway. Okay. So we got lunges next. We did lunges at 125 for 15. Let's go 135 a day. Since we're only doing 12. Feels good in here too. It's like maybe 60. Yeah, 59. Continental US yeah, it's in Lebanon, Kansas. You put it there. If you take into account Alaska and Hawaii, it's somewhere in, okay, South Dakota. I'm cool with that. Just realize the fact that no one gave a shit about Middle America, and they still don't. They said found the country on the East Coast, rushed all over the West Coast to the gold, and came back to the middle of the country. I mean, yes and no. I don't think that's necessarily true, because the industrial powerhouse of the United States through the entirety of the 19th century and through the majority of the 20th century was the Midwest, right? Look, Chicago is a massive city for a reason. Not to mention, in the 20th century, the state of Texas has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Texas is nowhere, I mean, you could call it on the third coast, the Gulf Coast, but Texas is in the center of the country, east to west wise. Now, we'll say the Great Plains states, Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, yeah, those are generally more forgotten about than, say, you know, sort of the heart of American industry, Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan. So a complex, since Missouri also claimed Kansas City, something like that. Now the middle of the country, I don't think quite gets the credit it deserves, but I don't think it's completely forgotten about all the time either. Sometimes it is. I mean, I will say, if that train wreck that occurred in East Palestine, Ohio, had happened in a much richer and much more interesting area, like, you know, if that had happened in Long Island, or if that had happened in, you know, California, it would have gotten way more attention. But instead, because it happened in post-industrial Ohio, most people ignored it. All right, we got 3x12 on lunges. Then we're done. So fairly, actually, I'm gonna do abs as well after this. That'd be a good one for me to do. Come on, let's do this. Come on, here we go. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Four more. Wasn't too bad. 2 more sets. The Nightmare Thief, welcome on in. George_walk, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. What is Smith June technically using? Usually didn't do that in America, it just leaks into Mexico. No, it didn't. Texas became an independent country all on its own. The Mexicans decided to play fuck around and find out, and they got bitch slapped. There is no part of the United States
north of the Rio Grande that belongs to Mexico. Do I make myself clear? Have I ever been to Point Roberts? No, but I've been to Blaine, which is on the just a couple miles east of there. I've actually been to Peace Arch Park right off Interstate 5 as it hits the Canadian border. I met a friend there, actually. No, I've not been to Point Roberts, though. I know where it is, though. It's a little chunk that, due to a border irregularity, is part of the United States, even though the only way to reach the rest of the United States is through Canada, unless you use a boat. In some senses, it's a bit of an island. Can't even get to Point Roberts without being in Vancouver. Well, unless you have a boat. All right, we got 2 more sets of lunges left. We'll do reverse lunges on this next one. And then after that, we're gonna do abs. Actually, you know, I'm gonna do a set of abs here, just while I'm recovering. It'd be a good idea. It's the 49th parallel, that's the only reason it's part of America. There's a couple other odd ones. The northwest angle in Minnesota is kind of like that too. There's that little chunk of Minnesota that goes north of the 49th. But yeah. The only U.S. state with most Canadians. Well, every so often, the city of Buffalo might take that title because a bunch of Leafs fans come down to watch the Toronto Maple Leafs play in Buffalo. The last time they did that, Buffalo bitch slapped them 9-3, which is always just really funny to me that Leafs fans pay very, very high dollars to Buffalonians to buy out their stadium whenever the Leafs come, drive across an international border and the worst freeway in America, the 401, to watch Buffalo kick their ass. I love that. That might be the most Canadian thing right there. I don't hate on our neighbors to the north. I just like clowning on Leafs fans, which, in my defense, most Canadians also like clowning on Leafs fans because you've got Habs fans, Oilers fans, Flames fans, Jets fans, Canucks fans, the long-lost remnants of Nordiques fans. Oh, and the Senators, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's go. Not done yet. Balance, balance. 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. Come on, 3 more. 11. Oh, one more.
We'll do a little 6 inches. It's a weird irregularity. No, I don't really feel like giving anybody any of our land, thanks. Oh. God, packing on the LBs this Christmas. I can see it, my ass was so much less defined. So this is 6 inches. The idea is really simple. You keep your heels 6 inches above the floor or above parallel. You do not bend your knees. You hold. On 10 more seconds. There we go. 49th parallel is the easiest non-confrontational political move in history. Yep, I'm just draw a straight line. Yeah, I mean, like, because that was drawn somewhere in the 1840s, I think. And, like, we did not know then that Point Roberts existed slightly below the 49. All right. Let's go ahead and do one more set. Last set. Come on. Let's do Dreams by Van Halen. That should get us through. Last set. Last set, we got abs. We'll do a little Q&A and then that'll be it. Oh! I don't know if y'all heard that. That was my knee. Ah, ouchie. Yeah, I think my body is telling me, blood, you need to rest. You're taking too few rest days. Means I need to eat less too. CCCLV. All right. Come on, focus. Strong like ball. Here we go. Four. Six. Eight. Nine. 10. Ah! That's it. 12. We're done with legs. We got some abs left. Dry your eyes, save all the tears you've cried. Oh, that's what dreams are made of. Be loud in a world that must be strong. Oh, that's what dreams are made of. All right. Knock out some abs too while we're here. This is reality. Nobody is interested in relitigating this. Let's keep the 49th parallel as it is. This is not worth anyone's time. That's way too many legal hours for no obvious gain. $20. $30. $40. Finish. Finish. Oh, 60. Kiros 2323, welcome on in. Majority of Canadians go away country in there. What did you experience at that though? Alaska in the same position as Point Roberts. Thank you very much for the first time chat. Kiros, welcome on in. We're gonna do a set of sit-ups, a set of crunches, and that might be it. Yeah, that'll be about it. I also got planks inside. Planks to do, I don't really feel like doing them in here. What's your bench PR? All time, 355. But my chest has gotten a bit weaker since then. I did 335 about 2 weeks ago. That's in pounds, by the way. God, can you imagine benching 350 kilos? Fuck, man. All right. Come on. 16 more. I hate six packs. I'm in bulk. I'm bulking right now too. It's going pretty well actually. Honestly, I'm ahead of schedule on my weight, which is a bit of a bad thing, but it's kind of be expected over Christmas where you're gonna be eating lots of junk just because it's getting offered to you. I don't have a six pack. At least, I mean, okay, here. Y'all tell me, right? If I flex, you can kind of sort of see some abs. I would not call that a six pack. Dude, it's Christmas. Everyone's dirty bulking right now. Interesting. Nia, tell me how you feel about Königsberg then. Excuse me for your English is good. Your English is fine, man. A long time ago, it used to be part of East Prussia and then Germany. Nowadays, it's called Kaliningrad. It's part of Russia. It's an exclave of Russia, but it's also was an exclave of Germany. Ah, you're from Turkey. All right. Interesting. Turks, y'all know how to make good food. I love me some doner kebab. Although I guess that's technically German, half Turkish, but shawarma's pretty good too. Falafel. I don't know, I'm just hungry right now. Sorry, I'm just thinking about food. What's it attached to? Poland and Lithuania. Neither of which has a historical claim on the land. Alright. That's it. We're done. We have a lot of oil. Yes, y'all like using olive oil a lot in your food. You guys are Big gay Mikey out here copy pastaing in chat. Fans feel very good. Oh yeah. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Ugh. All right. That's about all I got for the show today, though. So I'm gonna actually I'm going back in the house. First run by simple brain maps territory. There will be a possible stories of countries for dummies book, which may make maps look easy. Make geology look up land. I mean, in some cases that works, but some cases not so much. Ugh. And me at this point, ChatGPT created that. I think it should be a copy pasta. It sounds like a copy pasta. Oh, don't encourage them. I know they're... Damn it, Mikey. I know they're in here. Smart ass. Where's Beth? Whatever happened to stateless people and nomads? Just getting all sorts of wild in here. Smart ass. No, it's gonna be 70 degrees here. It's nice and warm. I'm gonna go for a big long hike, I think, after the stream is up. So now's the time. If any of y'all have any questions that you want to ask me about money, about diet, about exercise, about the future of the channel, about what's going on in 2024, about what's going on with the Discord, this is the time to ask. So please do so now. While y'all do that, excuse me for just one moment. Let me take a leak. That's much better. All right. I'm going. Good stream. Hey, and if you like this content, if you like what I do, check out Discord. You can kind of see more, though. I disagree with that. I'm a big fan of national pride. Personally, I think the idea of a world citizen is buckus. I think it's BS. I think it's realistic. There's only one country I want to be a citizen of, and it's right there. Oh my God. Woo, my back is killing me. It was sore starting. My legs are sore too. That's just all in all a good workout. So it looks like we don't have much in the way of other questions, so we're going to probably look to raid someone here then. Slightly shorter stream this morning, but doesn't seem like chat's got anything else to ask me. It was good seeing you, Mr. Kiros. Welcome on in. We got Fazika, we got Jacob Lyle. Zero plan, just moving weight. Yeah, I might have to give him a raid. Alrighty. Do we have any further, before we go, any further questions, comments, conversations y'all want to have? Otherwise, I'll look to raid. I will be live not tomorrow, but I will be live on the 26th. Tomorrow I'm taking a break. I've earned one. No? All right then. Looks like we'll go ahead and raid. Just gotta get there. Yeah, we'll give Mr. Jacob Lyle a raid here. Congrats on the first for Big Red, yeah. Citizenships and passports are inherited. All right, let's go ahead and give Mr. Lyle a raid here. But what about people who want to be nomads and don't care about citizenship to one country or another? I mean, that's as may be. They can try moving from country to country then and finding one they like. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a raid going here. We're gonna raid Jacob Lyle. Oh, do I have that right? No. So raid Mr. Jacob Lyle. He's doing pretty good. Mr. Jacob Lyle does lifting as well. That's going to be it for me today. I will be live again on the 26th. I hope to see you all there. In the meantime, check out the Discord if you want more. And as always, y'all, make good decisions. Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values can form ethos. Be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Much love, y'all. Come in for the raid. Come in for the hug. Oh, big hug. Oh, God, I'm tired. See y'all on the 26th. All right, YouTube, it's fun. I'm fucking exhausted. I need to go rest. I'm overworked.